suspense.
Thank you. I had a great time.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Real Story with Nathaniel. Our guest tonight is
Started young, stay sharp, learned every lane. From the spotlight, hustle to creating the frame. Now she's running the story, front to the back. Jenica Bergere, crazy talented and a big rack. Step inside, hear the story unfold. Speaking with us, real talk and bold. Jenica Bergere. Jenica Bergere. Jenica Bergere. On TRS tonight.
To me,
ladies and gentlemen.
I've never looked better than an AI. I mean, and it said, and she has a big rack, which is definitely a fact.
Oh,
I mean, it can't say your name properly, nor can it like draw your face exactly, but you know, it got the rack part.
From here on out, I would like to be referred to as Jenica Bergere.
Bergere.
Like she said, Jenica Bergere. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
I don't like how we're being reductive on AI speech impediments, guys. I feel like someone's gonna get offended in chat. Chat, comment.
5 years
Jenica
from now,
Bergere.
all of us. How dare you? I was young and you were making fun of my AI skills. Canceled. Don't offend the AI. Jenica, thanks for being on our show. It is amazing having you, and I just want to if anybody watching this better know who you are. We've seen you in almost every TV show that's been filmed since the 90s on, writer, producer, actor, everything. You have done everything there is to do in Hollywood. Actor, of course. Well, director.
No,
writer,
director.
Director. I'm just blown away by your body of work. I did the research to interview you, and I was just simply blown away by the fact that I have nowhere to start because you've done when you were 5, your first commercial with Drew Barrymore.
That is correct. I did a GE commercial with Drew Barrymore.
You were doing stand up at 17 you were at the Comedy Store. You saw Legends launch.
Yes, I decided on a dare to go audition for Mitzi Shore, and I became a Comedy Store regular at 18. My picture's on the wall in between Jim Carrey and I forgot his name. Anyway, I look like Patty Duke. So if you show up at the Comedy Store, my name's on the wall. And my first check was $8, and I would ride my scooter that somebody helped me pay for, and I tried to pretend it was like a Harley, so I'd like park it far away and then walk in with a helmet and a chain like I had a hog. But it was like really this 35-mile-per-hour Honda Spree with like a basket on the back where I could put my self-esteem. Yeah. And I do these sets. I do like I think I would get a 9 to 11 minute set for $8. That's where it started. That's where it all started. And my dad reminded me,
That's where you fell in love with it. Like that kind of struggle.
I don't know that I fell in love. I don't know that I fell in love. Stand up, is very nerve wracking. What was great about it was there was a community. It wasn't the greatest community, but it was a community that quickly formed, and I was young and bold, and that was exciting. But it was also like, it's not for the weak. I spend more time bombing than writing.
I never had the guts to even try to bomb, knowing the first time you're going to bomb, everybody's going to hate you. I didn't have the guts to do that. Like knowing what the outcome was going to be, just didn't have I've been on stage. I've been on stage at comedy clubs, but delivering jokes is personal to me, I guess.
Yeah.
So it always impresses
no,
me.
I mean, it's scary. It's like
young does it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would always get feedback like, I was a regular. So I wasn't like doing open mics. I was a paid regular. $8 is $12 set was in the main room. And I'd walk on stage after like Rodney Dangerfield and Paul Mooney and oh my God, it was Dom Irera, Wheels, Dice, Paula Bell, Eleanor Kerrigan. I'd walk on after all that, and I really didn't have much to say, but I just had a lot of balls. So I just kept getting, but the feedback I would get back was like casting directors would come in or agents would come in and they'd say, she's a really great actress. And my dad, when he was alive, reminded me that I told him once, oh, yeah, Burlstein Gray wants to represent me, but they want me to do television and film, Dad. And I just want to be live. I just wanted to be live. And so
Well,
I started a journey
where
in
the real
television and
artists
film.
are.
Guess where the real artists are? Making no money driving a Honda Spree.
Pay your dues. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Would you what was it like? So you grew up in LA, Hollywood, like that environment, right? What was that like as a teenager, just surrounded by I don't know, I imagine the excess is, also overblown, but what's the options with people who have money or fame or power that are just in your circle or next to your circle? How do you live that
I
life?
grew up in Van Nuys, which is kind of like the barrio, and
Audio.
I wasn't really like I was in dance class at Madeline Clark Studios. My passion was hip hop and like breakdancing, and I was around all those kind of kids, and they all started to have acting careers, and I kind of didn't. Like I was more interested in like drinking or smoking weed, and then at a
So
very
you're
young
cool.
age, and then
Yeah, so you were cool.
I guess I was cool. And then
Yeah.
my parents moved to Palm Springs because my dad was a jazz drummer. He had me at 52, and the only place he could get work was in Palm Springs. And that was a huge culture shock for me because I came from Los Angeles where there was all that abundance and people making movies and walking in, into the store and seeing Steven Spielberg. And then I went to the desert where everybody was like, Bob Hope, Dinah Shore, and older. They were like 100. And
Yeah.
and then there was no fanciness. It was a different kind of fanciness. Their fanciness was like golf courses and like who had the highest level of air conditioning and the biggest pool and stuff like that. And
Most cool boys.
so the second I turned 18, I threw everything in a U-Haul and I moved with my best friend, Katie Harris, who's a musician. And we came to Los Angeles in a U-Haul, drove down Magnolia Boulevard in Van Nuys, because that's all I knew was Van Nuys, because that's where I was from. And we saw a building and it said first month free. And so we were like, okay,
Yes.
we'll do that with some free. And they were like, no, you have to have credit to get this apartment. And Katie's dad signed for us, thank God. And then we had this apartment and we didn't know how to pay for it. And shortly thereafter, I was a regular at the Comedy Store, and I was working at a coffee house called Insomnia. And again, I wasn't really around those rich people. I wasn't like now my
Right.
kids are around, like they go to school and it's, everybody you can imagine in Hollywood's kids. And like I remember my daughter True, who's now going to be 22 on Monday, she would get invited to play dates, and it would be like on a jet, or like, we'd like to take your
Jeez.
daughter to Hawaii for the weekend. I was like, no, we're not going to Hawaii, but thank you. So it wasn't what you think. It wasn't Hollywood. It was a much scrappier, poorer, economically challenged, I should say, grittier LA, which was great because it gave me character and gave me something to strive for. So when I moved back at 18, I really did feel like I didn't feel like an insider. I felt like an outsider coming back in.
Right.
Wow.
Imagine if you're doing like stage work in LA, especially at that time, it's a melting pot. So I mean, the feeling like, when did you start traveling and doing like other shows elsewhere? I mean, because the shift we know from what do you want to call it, from outside looking in, is like East Coast versus West Coast comedy is clearly different. But coming from like the heart of it in Los Angeles, is it Los Angeles? I mean, it's got to be
It's a little place called Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mitzi's place, for Pete's sake. Mitzi,
Yeah,
Sammy's, like
just
Polly.
Mitzi's,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, just
All of it was quite a time. I mean, I came up with Jamie Kennedy and Chelsea
Man.
Handler and all of them, and it was it was interesting. But I got a lot of acting work, so I didn't travel that much because I started getting TV
Okay.
shows that kept me here.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Now,
So I ended up
started watching-
traveling. Like I ended up traveling to. I did a lot of work in Vegas. Steve Sharippa used to book the Riviera, which is no longer there, and I would work the Riviera like 3-4 times a year. The Improv in Vegas, but I didn't do a lot of.
Right.
I wasn't a road comic.
Gotcha. All right. That's such a strong start right out of the gate, though. So it's just like for me, I'm like, how do you up that? Like, you know, up the ante. It's like, oh yeah, the culture shift. Like, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I guess you light it up and you say yes.
Do it. So,
Yeah.
how did you get into like the? I mean, I think from what 94 on, you've been in every show that everybody's ever watched, sort of thing. How do you end up in those roles? Like, how does that process start, and how do you like start just living it?
Well, I got an agent, and his name is Bill Valoric, and he's still my agent today. And he was, I don't even remember the name of the agency he was at. It was so small, but he saw me at the Comedy Store, and I also was with Brill Stingray, which is a big comedy, but I was on the black side. I was on Simmons, Lathan, Brill Stingray. So it was owned by Russell Simmons, Stan Lathan, in conjunction with Brill Stingray. So it's like I wasn't funny enough to be on the Jewish white side. I was on the black side, which was just fine for me. So I was the only white girl on the Def Jam circuit, and that was fun. That was great. Great comedians: Adele Givens, Ruben Paul, Cedric the Entertainer, Earthquake. God, so many. Angela Means. God, Shang Forbes. So many great comedians at that time. And what was the question?
Oh,
I forgot the question. How did you get into these shows? How did you get on?
Getting into all of them?
Oh yeah. So I remember the first series regular I got, they do this thing called testing. So if you audition, you get a call back, the producer sees you as the role, you then test against 3 or 4 girls, and they do contracts with Business Affairs as if you have the job. So they start negotiating $20,000 to $50,000 an episode. She gets a her own private dressing room with a toilet, without a toilet, with this best efforts for a toilet, best efforts for a rug. And I mean, they start negotiating everything. Those negotiations changed when I had children. It was like, can she pump her breast milk so that her child can live for more than 24 hours?
It's a shame you have to negotiate that.
Right. Yeah, so you negotiate all this as if you have the job. So there's no bidding war afterwards. You go to the studio first, you sign a contract. If you pass the studio, then you go to the network and you sign the contract. Well, I auditioned for Sally Steiner, a great casting director. If you look her up, she's cast everything funny.
I think I know the name.
And she said, I think, the producers are going to love you, so you're going to come back to producers. And that was already exciting to Bill Valoric and the team at the time. So I went back to producers, and they were like, they're going to test you. And I was like, I'm not good in school. I was like, what do you mean there's a test? Like a written test, like DMV? And they were like,
Right.
No, it's this thing where we're going to start negotiating for you. And when I heard these numbers, $20,000 with a $10,000 bump, I was shitting myself because all of a sudden it meant something. It was like
This
money.
is real. Yeah.
And then I passed the studio, and I remember Bill Valoric called and he said, "You passed studio, kid." And like his mom called me, Joan. And then I went to the network. And when you go to the network, you're walking into ABC. And what's interesting to me about ABC is it's on Century Park East, which is over by CAA and William Morris, all the things. There is also a strip club. The week before I tested, I had worked 54 jobs. I had been fired from 54 jobs. I shined shoes. I sold stolen watches. Didn't know they were stolen. I did like the
could you?
chicken soup on the corner. I did
No shit.
everything. And I still didn't make my rent. So my roommate said, come audition for this strip club. I remember, first of all, not a stripper. Just not even a stripper. Not even kind of a stripper. Never
Well,
gonna be a
I've seen
stripper.
you strip on Drew Carey, but keep going.
That's a strip tease. This is actual stripping. So I walk into it and it's like an interview with like 30 young hopefuls. And there's a guy named Dallas, and he takes you into a private room and he goes, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna do this on the pole and you're gonna show us your moves. We're gonna play the song. All right, we're gonna go one by one. And I looked at my friend and I was like, I am not doing this. And they actually portrayed him on one of the many shows I saw, that gentleman. And I wouldn't call him a gentleman, that man, that person. And I left and I was like, no matter what, I don't know how I'm gonna fucking pay the rent. I'm not doing that job. Like Dallas scared the fuck out of me. That pole scared the fuck out of me. And I was like, I just like had no idea how I was going to pay the rent. I was selling clothes to Crossroads, so Buffalo Exchange, Wasteland to try to make rent. And I'd throw rent parties. I'd throw a party where nobody gets anything but paying my rent, and then we like dance. So and then the next week I walk into ABC. They said, you're going to the network. And I park in the parking lot. I'm like, oh my God, this is the same place. And I go up the elevator and there's the 50/50 club where I was going to strip. And here's American Broadcast Channel. And I am auditioning. And I was like, there's nothing to lose. So I walked in. I think I even started it again. I was like, I don't think I like that. Can I do it again? Like, I wasn't even as polished in any way, shape, or form. And I got it. And from that point on, once you get one, it work begets work. And then I was kind of hot at that time. Not hot, like work for Dallas hot, but like hot on a streak. And so,
yeah, you appeared everywhere.
Yeah, it was so every time there was a sitcom, and that was the heyday of sitcoms. They're not around anymore. So
every comedian got a show or a tribe.
Every comedian got a show, and I went from show to show to show, and then I did Seinfeld and Larry Sanders and all the greats, Caroline in the City and Darman Gregg and blah 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 blah, on and on. So yeah, it was sort of like a lucky sliding doors moment. It could have been this, but it was that for that moment.
I just like the idea right now. There's some guy in Saskatchewan right now. He's like, his ears are ringing. He's like, somebody's talking about me. Dallas, calm down. Like, it's just that this moment right now, he's being brought up randomly.
Damn it. I thought I moved on from that part of my life.
Yeah, I'm not sure he went to Saskatchewan. He was living in Los Angeles with some Los Angeles hookers. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. He didn't have that Robert Johnson fork in the road moment like you did.
Yeah.
So when you watch TV now and you're flipping through channels, then how often do you see you?
Once or twice a week.
Is it awesome or do you hate it?
I think it's always awesome to see myself. I hate to see how I've aged. I hate to see that young person and what I'm reflecting on what I went through at that age and how hard life was at that age. Like I can really put myself back to that, like each milestone and like where I was, what boyfriend I was with. I mean, I've been with my husband since I was 21, so it's not a bunch of terrible memories, but it's also frustrating because I'm like, it's still hard to make a living. And I'm like, I'm on fucking national television. Isn't this the American dream? But some chick is getting paid $50,000 to go post their ass in Coachella and they can pay the rent. So I don't, sometimes I get frustrated. Sometimes I get resentful. I never feel entitled. I never feel entitled. Like I feel nostalgic. Like, oh, that's so cool. But I don't. Huh?
Like a loss. Like, everything. I've never done anything like you have on that scale. But like the cool things I did back when I could,
Yeah.
I miss those things. I don't know. But thankfully I'm not randomly confronted either in person or when flicking through TV, like, oh shit, that's me. I will never randomly see this show. I have to go out of my way
I
to
think
do it.
when it's exciting,
Yeah.
when it's exciting for stupid things are exciting to me. Like I did a Bud Light for a Super Bowl commercial and we're watching the Super Bowl and all of a sudden my phone just went bzz, 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 bzz. And it's like, that's so exciting to me. It was like, oh my God, the Super Bowl. Like my cousin from Michigan who now lives in like Saskatchewan or whatever was like, I just saw you. I just saw you. But you know, I've done something deeply serious on The Mentalist, you know, a very troubled woman. And I worked my ass off and I coached with my coach, Elizabeth Gamsa. And I did this whole thing and no one saw that. Or maybe they saw it in residuals, but they saw Bud Light and that's kind of exciting to me. And recently I had Jersey Mike's on the NFL season with Danny DeVito and Peyton Manning. And that was exciting.
It's like someone just took a bunch of names and shook them up and said, okay, we got Peyton Manning and Danny DeVito.
I was trying to work up a quote for the slide for introducing you, and it was like, if you took a lawn dart and threw it at IMDb and it hit anybody's name, Jenica would have a story that involves them, or she's
literally, he said,
at some point.
It's
find
it's
out
actually
what
true. Like I think I've reached the age of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Well, that was my question. I actually have it written down of one of the things I was going to ask. Just for our 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon fans, how many degrees are you from Kevin Bacon at the shortest? One.
He is a producer. He is a producer. His company, Valerie Stadler, works for Big Swing. And Big Swing is owned by Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick. And they are on as executive producers for Worse, my film that's out right now on demand, which you can get on every platform. And you definitely should. The best reviewed movie. So freaking funny.
Speaking of movies, and by the way, if Josh, if I know Josh, he's trying to find a way to get that link up on the screen. Before the show, we talked very briefly. You were looking to shoot a movie in Pittsburgh, where Josh and I are from, and you said you wanted to talk about it, and I want to hear about it because I'm a Pittsburgher.
I got to tell you, I loved Pittsburgh. First of all, whenever I go to a town to work, I very much love meeting the community. And one thing that I feel that that I'm good at, even more so than acting, even more so than mothering, is if I am putting together a film, I really understand try to get into the community, understand the community, and utilize the community and include them. And so this book was written called Dear Zoe, and a man had written the screenplay and wanted to finance this film, and he brought the script to me, and I ended up casting Sadie Sink from Stranger Things and Scoot McNairy as her father. And then I got to Pittsburgh to set up the whole movie. And I was there for 3 weeks. And first I'm on the plane with a Steeler. First of all, I sit next to this guy that has a Super Bowl ring. And he's a judge and he lives in Pittsburgh. And we make friends. And I invite the filmmakers, the cast, everybody. And we ended up going to his house for like a little, hey, we're starting this movie and maybe his wife will be in it. Maybe his kids will be in it. So that was cool. I love that Mr. Rogers is from there. And the subject matter of the book was, it was about grief. And it's a fictional tale of on the day of 9/11, a girl's little sister runs out of the street, gets hit by a car, and she feels very alone with this grief. And so she goes to live with her father in Braddock.
Because everybody else is wrapped up in 9/11. So
in
like,
9/11.
Yeah.
So I knew how I wanted to make this movie. And when I'm making a movie, I dream about it. And all of a sudden the movie gods come. Like, I remember the one guy, I went to his house because I just knocked on his door. I said, that's the house. Opened the door. He opened arms. There's guns on top of the thing. He's got the Steelers, in flag in the windowsill, etc. But my story that I was going to tell you was, I there's a lot of bad things that happen in show business too. And while I was working on this movie, setting it up, I started to feel like there was something fishy with the money. There was something fishy with the crew. We didn't see eye to eye. And I get a call from my lawyer and they're like, do not sign anything. And I was like, what? And they're like, they want to do not pay or play, which means they want to do pay or play, which means they could fire you at any time. They can pay you only if you edit this version, edit that version. And I was like, what? And basically, by the time I got to the hotel, they had replaced me with the producer's wife. And I ended up not directing that movie. And everybody fell out of that movie for me. Sadie Sink was a child. It was a great role for her. And I spoke to her mother and her. And I said, I really think you should do this movie. But I will tell you, it's not going to be the movie I wanted to make. What I loved was the steel mill town. I love...
Yeah.
I love, I'm sure they don't love, that where there's poverty, there's a bigger sense of hope. There's a bigger sense of community. And I felt like in Braddock, it wasn't people like were like this. I think people were like this. And that Wrestler was the mayor at the time, and he was trying to clean it up and make it great. And there was something about these steel workers and like their salt of the earth, but also they were going through a lot. And I really wanted to incorporate that in the film. So this is my public plea to film something in Braddock. I love the yellow bridges in Pittsburgh. I love Mr. Rogers. And because this film was about grief, I went to their center that helps family members who are dealing with grief, which I just think was the most incredible center I've ever walked into in my life. What an incredible man he was, and what a legacy he left. And what happened for me is I didn't get to fully realize artistically how I want to portray grief. And I realized that movie probably was going to be way too dark, and I was right. It didn't do very well. So I'm glad that I wasn't a part of it. And Amy Landecker's movie came across because I was directing Amy in a short film with Margaret Cho and Missy Pyle, my favorite, and Anna Ortiz. And Amy said, I don't know if you're supposed to be in my movie or produce it, but would you read it? And I read it in one night. I called her the next day, and I was like, I know how to make this movie. She had it was like a $1.2 million budget. And she was like, well, I have a producer, you got to meet her, and blah, blah, blah. And I called my friend, James Portalacy, who knows how to make movies for $300,000. And we made that movie for $300,000. But what I loved about Amy's take was it was so real and so funny. And it was about the grief of divorce and what happens after that, and a chance at a second act. And, you know, I implore you to rent it tonight. It's $6.99. It's the best $69.99 you'll ever spend. And everybody who saw it in the theaters, it started in 3 theaters. It went to 74 theaters. I get comments from all over the United States. Can't wait till it goes universal. But I'm very proud of that movie. But I didn't direct that movie. Amy directed that, and it was her story.
Right.
And yeah. And so then I moved on to,
Consider it done. It's on my watch list next.
Or worse. And then Mermaid, my friend Fia Pereira, another talented writer, director, female, came to me and said, could you produce this? I need help, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, right now it's a 1.2. I think we can make it for this. And she was really so invested in shooting in Cape Cod. And we shot that film in Cape Cod with Nat Faxon, Devin McDowell, Arturo Luis Soraya, Mary Birdsong, and Alex Moffat. And it's an incredible piece. And once again, I'm one of those people that gets in the community, and I can find this for free, and I can find that for them to participate. It's just about passion, about telling the story. I could probably do that if I worked at Target as well, which I may have to work at next week. Who knows?
God, I like that you have a specialist producer too. Like, I need something under 300K. Let's go. Let's do this. Like, you just have just call somebody up like a bat phone. Like, what's your budget? we got somebody for that.
And I love the fact that I'm an independent film person, a supporter. I love that people are doing this because I too am a little bit bored with like the big over the top everything, and like it's just it's fun to watch. Like bubblegum is fun to chew, but like when it comes to filling you, there has to be something else. I just watched Pizza Movie, which is one of the best written things I've seen in a long time. And it's very independent. There are major actors in it and all that, but still, it just felt scrappy and something that the major studios wouldn't ever do. And I love seeing that. And then even on smaller scales, a lot of the actors we interview are in smaller pictures, and I watch them as research. And there's so much good stuff out there that people really just
There
need to
is so
give a
much good
chance.
stuff out there. People are just the renaissance of making stuff yourself has been for the last 10 years, and the Duplass brothers started that, and it keeps going, and I think that's such a huge contribution they've made to film and
And
television.
look, you're making contributions now. You're helping make these things happen. Like somebody has a dream, and you're like, "Well, let's do it." That's an incredible for somebody to find you and get that help. That's amazing. I do have
Gracias.
one thing. I love help when people help the community. My big thing in the world is community. Like if you help the community, everything else gets better. Just it will. Think about the world around you, not just like I want this law for this thing to happen. Just think about like your neighborhood first. I'm being preachy now. So let's take it back. You married a chef.
Yes.
What's the second smartest thing you've ever
Yes,
done?
I did. What is this? What's the question?
What's the second smartest thing you've ever done?
So the first smartest, that was your joke.
Marrying a chef.
That was your joke.
Yeah.
First smartest was marrying a chef.
That's
The second
that's
smartest
reality.
thing I done was having
Yeah.
children with him.
I got to see that story, and it was very touching and powerful. How it changed your life. I saw it on YouTube before this. I don't know. It's not a speech. It's a story. It's a reading. Motherfucker.
Oh yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, when my mom was dying, and I was asked to read this. Are you allowed to say that?
Motherfucker. Can we say
Just
motherfucker?
Nathaniel. Now we have to pay like $25 a month motherfucker fee. It's motherfucker plus, right? Is it? Yeah.
I'll Venmo you.
Plus.
I'll Venmo you.
Yeah.
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 I
No,
can
it's
Venmo you that.
totally fine. So we'll put you on the family plan, and then it's like only $14 per person. Yeah,
We're good.
Awesome.
we're good.
I know what you're talking about. Motherfucker was like a turning point for me artistically because my mom was dying, and I wrote a TV show. I sold the TV show, and while she was dying, I realized what was really mattered in life, and so I decided to make a movie while pregnant about this that was funny, and it was called "Come See Me," and that's my first film so that I made as a director, writer, producer.
No, that's
But it
the
came
film
out of
where
that.
That's the film
Gave
where you
birth.
filmed your birth, right?
I filmed my birth, and editing was
So
a
does that-
nightmare.
Does that make you? Does that make you?
How
a
do we block
director
that
or a
out? Can we?
stunt person?
Is it 4K? Can we blow it up? I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that part of that angle. None of that.
It'd be like
pretty
reverse
intense.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So all these years that you've been involved in so much in the large giant Hollywood community of all these things to local community, has there been somebody in Hollywood, in acting, in the showbiz industry that I like when people get called out that has consistently been a good person, not just to you, but just like overall, and maybe a name that doesn't always come up on Reddit when questions like this come up. I'm always interested, like that one person, you know, like also a bit player that's been everywhere or whatever, that's always been a good person.
Well, it depends on what category you're talking about. I thought you were going to say, has there been one person that supported you or helped you? And I
That
could
could
tell
be
you
personal to you. Yeah, absolutely.
that person is Mary Vernew, the casting director, who's a legend. And this year was the first year casting directors were nominated for Oscars. There was no doubt in my mind this woman will receive an Oscar, and she is a family member, a sister. We've owned a restaurant. She's an aunt to my kids. She's an incredible artist. She was a producer on Come See Me. And Mary Vernew is probably the only person that has like literally stuck her neck out for me and been like, you're good. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna be there for you. And I can also add that she's a good person. I would say, as far as like actors, who was like a really, God, there's been so many. There's been the more interesting question is like, who was the jerk?
I know, but like everybody talks about the jerk, and we hear like
They do?
the number one name,
I feel like
number one
people
name
don't
in
tell the
comedy.
fucking truth. Yeah. God, Ted Danson is a wonderful human being.
I've heard great things.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Mary Steenburgen, wonderful human being. Bradley Whitford, Amy Landecker, wonderful human beings. Missy Pyle, amazing human being. God, Gabby Hoffman, great human being. Seinfeld was great. I loved working with him. He was so smart and so sharp and so aware. And he said one of the coolest things to me. He said, so I hear you're a comedian. I go, yeah. And he goes, you must be a shitty comedian because you're a really good actress. Because do you remember at the time everybody was saying he was a terrible actor but a great comedian? And I was like,
that was true.
That is the comment of the century. Josh Brolin, I like workshopped a script with Brian Grazer at his house for like 4 weeks. He was amazing. It was amazing to watch him work. He's kind. He's ingratiating. God, who else? Who did I want to win? I'm a big fan of Cameron Manheim. This is for the fat girls. Yeah. I was like, yes, I love you so much. And then during the strike, I was like, I'm your fan. And she was like, I love you. And so we struck together at Fox.
Man,
I know who's a really good person. Well, I've got two. Jill Michelle Milian, who's my comedy partner. Two Beaches. She is just so good with animals and so good with kids, and she's my kid's
I saw her
auntie.
short that you were in, by the way, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It got me at the end, and I 100% like that's a better ending than I thought it was gonna be. So I won't spoil it. Sure,
she directed that. So we support each other, directing, writing, producing, acting. We did a comedy show together, and she's my boo, and she's about to get married. I'm super excited about that. So I got this tattoo that says J+J. It's really for Jenica and Josh, but I don't tell her because I told her it's for Jilly plus Joey.
Is Jilly watching right now? Because we take questions and comments from people in the audience. I'm just saying.
I told her that we would call her, but because I'm doing this on my phone, I don't know how to do that. So you'll just have to have us on together.
Okay.
There you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then the other person, and she's kind of like my, we call her, my married name is Jackson. We call her the sixth Jackson in our house because we're the Jackson 5, and she's the sixth Jackson, is the actress Paris Burrells, who is a new director. She was the lead of Alexa and Katie. She is an ambassador for the Polaris Project, and she's just wise beyond her years. And I just love, I love knowing her. I love knowing that she's in that age group that's in that like influence group where you could write her off as one of those. And she's not. She's deep. She's amazing. And she cares about her community and she cares about her friends. And that's cool. And then, wait, hold.
Oh no.
The phone. You're breaking up.
Oh no.
There you go. Don't worry, everybody. She'll be back. This happened before the show. Well, now you got a chance to go through the notes. Now, everybody, listen. While you're here, is she back? You're back.
My other best friend. I have a lot of best friends. Let me just say that everybody's my best friend
now, though.
But I have another best friend, Brooke Purdy, fucking hilarious writer. We did comedy together, and she's a director. And she directed a film called Quality Problems. I played her best friend in every film. And she is just really unique and funny and hysterical. There's a lot of good people in my life. A lot.
I love it. And I like it when people get called out for it because it's really easy just to go to the negative. And when people go into interviews, you never get to talk about the people that helped you become you or helped your everything happen. So I That's one of my
Yeah.
go-tos, honestly. Tell the world who's awesome.
I agree.
It's,
Yeah.
it's easy. It's
I mean,
easy
if
the
you
other
just
way.
did like like if you did like a roulette round and you said names of stars, I could tell you if I met them and what they were like. Let's do it. Like a game show. Ready?
All right, you know, we're going to start with an easy one that I know. Danny Trejo.
Oh, my father and Danny Trejo were in prison together, and I've known him since I was born. And I love Danny Trejo. I mean, he's a miracle. He's been sober for a gazillion years, and he's helped a lot of people stay sober. And he's like, he's fucking machete.
I like the fact that, or that I heard, I'm not sure, I haven't checked the veracity of this, that every movie where he plays a bad guy, he has to die. So that people don't think you could get away with it.
I would imagine he would have said something like that. Yeah.
That's like, so I haven't watched every movie, but like, I'm like, that adds up. So I wanted to, the reason I reached out is that Drew Carey started doing episodes on YouTube and I guess the DVD set. And I watched the episode, Brotherhood of Man, where you have a dance number. You have dance background. I know you love tap and all this stuff. I rewatched it again before coming on, and it's clear to tell you're a dancer in the whole thing. Like, and then I was like, did they know this when they cast you that there was going to be a dance number? Because this is a complex episode that they had to plan for a long time, I'm sure. Like, was that part of your hiring process? Can you dance?
Not at all. In fact, when I just happened to be as part of the 100th episode, and they were like, we're going to do this big dance number, I was like, I've got my secret. I know how to break dance. And I'm just going to act like I don't know how to dance. And then when we start dancing, the dancers they're going to hire me. They're going to hire me. I was already hired, but I'm saying like the dancers are going to hire me to be in music videos and dance and do all this stuff. And that didn't happen. But they were like, you can move. They can dance. It's a difference.
Now, I don't know if Krista Miller could dance or not, but it looked like at some point, like she was eyeballing you to make sure she knew where the moves were or something. Or is that just in my head?
She definitely was vulnerable in that episode, and we had a lot of fun together where she was like following my moves because I was like, no, we go like this. Brotherhood of Man. You know what I mean? Like, but we had so much fun doing that. There was a lot of fun things on that show, but that episode in particular was like, come on. It was oh my God, I'm spacing on his name from
Hal
Barney
Linden.
Miller.
Hal
Thank
Linden.
you. Hal
Like,
Linden.
that was my next question. Legend, and from Palm Springs. I'm sure you knew who he was at the time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hal Linden. You got to work with acting comedy god,
yeah, totally. And he was an acting.
He really did, yeah.
Yeah, he was an acting comedy god, a total mensch and hard worker and instinctual artist, just like Ted Danson, the same work ethic. And but I just had so much fun because all those dancers, one of my favorite movies, top 5 movies, is E.T. and the Muppet movie, the one with Jason Segel. And the dance, all I want to do, and I'm just putting it out in the universe, all I want to do is direct a musical. That's all I want to do. Then I will have died and I'll have lived. I'll have left a legacy because I want to direct a musical. And
are you a vocalist?
No, but my daughter is a musician and a songwriter, and she's at NYU, Clive Davis School of Recorded Music, and she's amazing at it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah. But what I loved was in the Muppet movie, it is have you seen it?
Yes, of course. I get goosebumps.
God.
Because I love the original. That was my childhood. What Jason did gave me goosebumps. He did it so well. Yes, absolutely.
So well. Like, you know how people have in their relationship a hall pass? To me, Jason Segel's my hall pass, or Kermit. Like one of the two.
Yeah. Well, right? Sort of how with Kermit.
So those dancers that were on Drew Carey are the same dancers that were in the Muppet movie.
No.
So now when you go back to the Brotherhood of Man, you're going to see the same dancers because it's the same choreographer and the same crew. So I really felt like I had a Hollywood moment when I worked with that choreographer and that group. I was like, this is brilliant.
The flag was at Paul Abdul, but you had that. So
right.
Even better.
I had the Muppet movie choreographer.
There was
Heck
something
yeah.
else in that episode where you perform your own stunt, where you ride on the back of a scooter that Drew Carey's driving. Like, that seemed unsafe.
Oh, everything in TV land is safe. Nobody does anything that would. And there's like 9 people around going, okay, now this match is going to light. And when this match lights, we've got this guy, that guy, this, because everybody's too happy and everybody's worried about a lawsuit. So yeah, I was totally safe. Everything
I
was
do
safe.
have one last Drew Carey question. Did you ever get on Craig Ferguson's show? Because I think, he had.
I did not get on Craig Ferguson's show, but I did know Craig Ferguson very well. I love Craig. And I did not. I was not. It was during like the slump when I wasn't successful enough and there was nothing to promote. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I could have called him and said, can I go on? But I had nothing to promote at that time. Like right after Drew Carey, I didn't work a lot. It was like a weird thing in Hollywood. They were like, she's fat, she's old, she's this, she's that. And I was actually like 25 or 26, and I was actually maybe 30, 40 pounds less than I am now. But it was the connotation of what you needed to be at that time. Like, I think Margaret Strose said it best when she played when she did her TV show that was based on her life, and a publicist asked her, you lost weight to play this role. Let me get this straight. You lost weight to play yourself. Like, it was all about being thin at that time.
I remember that.
So I didn't work for
that. Yeah.
Right. I love the
How dare
world
you
the way
be
it
a
is
woman?
now. I would think that any normal bodied human that has been famous in the last 10 years has changed it for all of us. And I'm so grateful to it. There's all shapes, sizes, colors, everything. And I love that. And now age. I feel like Amy Landecker is, I said that funny. Amy Landecker is leading the charge of, over 50, still sexy, still funny, still able to, play a love interest, and still a value. Yeah. So I think she's one of the many that are leading that charge. So I'm excited about that.
I think that's also the great thing about the independent movie and you make your own film environment and world is we get to see real people in real roles. Like, it's not just you have the face of a guy who looks like he's a hacker. Like, anybody could be a hacker, like, just that's what I wrote.
Right.
And I like that. And honestly, I've always preferred character actors. The reason I know Hal Linden and Barney Miller is it was such a character actor show. Night Court. It wasn't like Harry Anderson, and I loved Harry Anderson. It was everybody who came into the room as a different character, a different look. And then Hollywood, like in the 90s, everybody on every show was hot or conventionally attractive or oddball for a reason,
Yeah. Well, 6 degrees of separation. I worked with 4 of the 5 cast members of Barney Miller on different pilots and different TV shows.
Oh, you're pausing? Hold on. Let's let the internet catch up. Oh, that's a bad pause. Hey, I just feel like she's talking and I'm cutting her off, so when it all catches up, I'm going to be the jerk here. Real quick, anybody out there that has questions, comments, anything, please put them in chat. I see we have a bunch of viewers out there. Anything you want to ask, comment, or surprise with? Thanks, everybody. She's probably re-logging here.
Am I here? I'm back?
There you are.
There you are.
There was another show you mentioned after Barney Miller.
Night Court.
Oh, yeah. And I've worked with everybody
Reinhold
who
kind of
works on
spun
Night
off,
Court.
and he took a lot of those character actors with him. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and my first show, The Faculty with Meredith Baxter, was written by the writers of Night Court. So we knew we were going to have something silly and funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think I saw it was
was cool.
I can't remember. I saw something. I think I saw an episode recently, just going through like old YouTube stuff, and I also have a fascination for failed pilots or canceled like within an episode shows. I like have a whole playlist of that because it's always interesting to see, oh wait, Ryan Reynolds was on this show before Two Girls a Guy, or these people did this, or I never knew that certain actors ever entered the same universe, but there they are. It's kind of, I love
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
I think I would probably be in the Hall of Fame of failed pilots.
How about this? Name a failed pilot that you really, really thought should have like just taken off. Like it had everything, but for whatever reason.
Can't really name one. I mean, to
No.
be honest, not one that I liked. This one pilot that I did called Crazy, and I loved the writer, and I can't remember her name. And it was a single camera pilot, and Laura Flynn Boyle was the lead. And I was playing her best friend who was pregnant and a mess. And I did. There was something about that. It was because at the time she was like publicly crazy with. Oh my God! One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. How am I having a senior moment? What is his name? The Joker.
Oh, Jack Nicholson.
Thank you. When she was dating Jack Nicholson, she was having a crazy moment. Remember, she like ran from this party and they were at the Lakers and they were like hiding their relationship. Anyway, so I loved how it was sort of like ironic that she was on this pilot called Crazy and that she was casting it. And I just thought she was so cool. And I would go into her dressing room and she put on like 20 different eyelashes. She did it perfectly. She's like, I don't need anybody to do my eyes. I've been doing my eyes forever. And she was hip and cool and smoked cigarettes and gorgeous and great actor. And there was something about that pilot that I loved the writer. And I was bummed that didn't get to go because that would have been really fun.
I wish that we could actually just have access to them. Like, there's still value in these pilots that like almost nobody ever gets to see after it gets turned down. Like maybe by some miracle, if somebody gets famous enough, somebody will pluck it out of obscurity. I also feel
that does happen.
Shorts.
That does happen. Yeah,
there's a lot of shorts that get made that like after the film circuit, they're just gone, and I hate that. Like, there's a lot of history out there, and some I'm sure you've been aware, like films that have been entirely created and just never released.
Yeah, that's so weird. I remember doing a table read for a David O. Russell movie that actually ended up getting filmed called Nailed. And at this table read, I'm sitting next to Tracy Morgan, Catherine Keener, Jake Gyllenhaal, Jason Bateman, Bob. I was filling in for Kirstie Alley because Kirstie wasn't available. She was on a plane or something somewhere. And I'm just talking Jessica Biel, star-studded, funny. It was so funny. It was about like Jason Bateman gets a nail in his head and he collects this group of kind of losers like Wizard of Oz and goes to Capitol Hill about this nail in his head. And it was called Nailed and it never came out. And I'm like, how is that possible? This is the greatest cast in the world. One of the coolest scripts in the world. And they made it. And it never happened. They made it.
I want to start an entire channel, another Hulu, that is nothing but films that were done and never, ever got released that deserve it.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, your screen went blank. Just want to make sure you're still there. And then I got
Are you drinking?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you broke up right there?
Are you drinking beer or tea?
Tea. I am too old to drink. It is 10:14 my time, and I'm too old to drink this late on a school night.
That's when things are just, bro. Just kidding. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move. Is this helping at all?
It sounds better. Yeah. The picture's still not back.
Okay, great. Great. Now I'm gonna do the interview like this at a distance. I'm gonna show off my outfit.
We can't see anything from the
camera.
I
was going to say your screen's black, just an FYI. I don't know if you...
Oh, no. I was modeling. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh.
This is going to look like a bit.
No.
Let's guess what.
Is it still black? Is it literally still black?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nope. Now there's a mute. Or it looks like you turned...
How's that?
No. Yeah.
I'm not
black.
back?
You might have to hang up and rejoin.
Okay, I'm going to hang up and rejoin. Is there a way you can edit this? Is anybody even watching?
Yeah.
Does anybody even care?
Oh, we have people watching. We have a fair number of people, it looks like.
No way. Have they asked anything? Do they care?
Quiet. They're quiet. You know what? You asked.
Because they're not there.
Well,
can you see me now?
I can't prove they're even people. No.
No. Okay, I'm gonna
No.
sign out and sign in.
Okay.
While she's doing
Technology.
that, Nathaniel.
Hey,
Oh
we can
wow,
talk-
that was the
Oh, there you
quickest sign out and sign out in. What?
You are back. Just
I
worked.
am back.
Just worked. And now you can
Yay.
model if you want. I'm not telling you what to do.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna model in my. Well, no, I was like from a distance.
by south.
I'm going to Coachella tomorrow, and I'm really like so excited to wear glitter and my nipples showing. I'm kidding. I will not be wearing that.
Party on, man.
Oh, that's too funny.
So you were just at South by Southwest, I believe. And what did you do? What'd you see? What'd you love?
So I was in South by Southwest last year for the movie For Worse. And I was so excited when I went. I stayed an extra week and went to the music festival, and I saw some of the greatest musicians, some bad ones, but whatever, it's subjective. And then I told my daughter, who's an artist and a recording artist, True Jackson, her name is True Jackson. I told her that she should apply to be an official artist. So she did, and she rolled her eyes at me and she's like, and applied online, and she got in. So this year I went just for the music festival. I did see some great documentaries. One was called Time and Water, and it's about the ice glaciers leaving and becoming extinct. And it was a great female director, and it was I loved their angle in. And then another documentary I saw was called Can I Have Your Attention Please? And that was profound. And it was about how Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, everything has affected children between the ages of 13 and 16, and the suicide rate has gone up. And one particular mother has organized all the way to the Senate, all the way to the White House, all the way trying to change the proposition, going against Facebook, going against all these things. And what was so amazing was that that mother was there. So I got to meet her and hug her and say, thank you so much for your service. Her son had done that thing. I can't. No. I'm doing something. Good. I am too. Oh, for the love of God. And so her
That's why
her son had committed suicide. And so it was amazing to meet her and sort of what she had done to turn that story into and make lemonade out of the worst lemon ever.
Yeah, well, I love it. We interviewed Natalie Bowl, the wife of Uwe Boll, and she started a company, Tribella, which is a new social media that she's trying to get out there that doesn't have the gambling addiction algorithms, that doesn't prey on children, that when the children do eventually get access, it is a safe, it's built around safety, not around we can get kids in and advertise to them too, sort of thing.
Wow, what's it called?
Following her, Tribella.
Tribella.
Yeah, and it's just getting started. She's actually working with like major universities. There's studies behind everything going into this. It's not just I have an idea. She's really, really trying to do something better for everybody, period, especially the kids who get basically brainwashed and abused by these types of systems.
Yeah, I love that. Well, that is it. TRI or TRY?
TRIBELLA, I believe. I'll send you the info.
TRIBELA.
Thank you, Zaz.
Yep.
I'll make
so
sure.
Good to have somebody that can
Instagram
spell.
soon.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not that guy. That's why I got into computers. They do it for you. They do math for you. I just put my my hands on the keyboard and it does what it wants.
Love that.
What is the difference? Like, so by the way, we've dropped enough names that the YouTube algorithm is just going to explode trying to like do the transcript and like, what is this all about? Hey, we finally have a comment. Here on MeTube 3654. We love you, Jenica. Thanks for the comment. Shoot eye questions, but we love you. Dan Choi, thank you.
Ask a question. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
You only have one life to live.
What's the difference? Because I heard a lot about that LA's been changing. Industry's been moving out or changing. What would you say the biggest differences in LA from the 90s till now are that you notice, like business wise?
Oh, it's massive. First of all, we don't audition in person, period. We only self-tape. There was a time when I was driving to Burbank, to Warner Brothers, to Sony, to CBS. You walk in a room, you see people, you go against people, you become friends with those people. You get nerves. You put your clothes on. You take your clothes. No, you don't take your clothes off. That was a joke. And then you go into
Dallas
and then if you're doing a comedy audition, it's live, and so they may laugh. It may suck. It may whatever. And then you go take the long journey home in your car and you rerun your audition in your head and beat yourself up. So quite frankly, I'm pretty happy with the self-tape land. So everything is self-tape. So I can do it with my friend. I could do it with my coach over the computer because we live in different cities. And I can do it at my pace and turn in my best work. The worst part about that is just a vacuum. You have no idea how things landed.
Send it and forget it,
Because people just click. So if I'm doing 17 pages of things, they might see me for 20 seconds, go, oh, she looks thin, she looks fat, she looks she looks old, she looks young, whatever. Done. And that wasn't the case before. You used to walk in a room, you work with the writer who wrote it. They either vibe with you or they don't. They throw you things. Like, that was exciting. So that's the first part. The second part is everything. Like, I just recently worked on High Potential, and I went over to an advertising agency to film my part of that thing. And this advertising agency is one of the most successful in the world, and it was empty. Of 100 desks, I would say 10 were filled with employees and the rest was empty. And that is what you're seeing around Los Angeles. Every studio is empty. All the offices are empty. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
That's either because they're working at home or there actually is no business. The other thing that's changing is everybody is financially fucked. Like everybody. Like rich people, poor people, whatever. We are just financially fucked. Like interest rates are too high. You don't make what you used to. Health insurance is as a SAG after. I think one of the craziest things you had asked me earlier in this interview, what's it like when you see yourself on television? Because I see myself once or twice a week on television. And I sort of explained what I didn't explain was that I did not make the minimum for my insurance. So my insurance for my family of 5 was $3,500 a month. That's a mortgage.
Yeah.
And Covered California was no better for the lower amount of insurance for bronze. I made too much to get to go to Medi-Cal. And so we had to pay this $3,500 a month for like 2 times. I haven't made the minimum as an actor. And that's bananas to me. It's also bananas to me. After all the work that I've done, I am not making enough for insurance. So I just qualified for insurance again. I can breathe a sigh of relief, but this should not be the case. I should not be 51 years old trying to make the minimum as my feet start to need a podiatrist. That is how I am thanked by my guild, SAG-AFTRA. And it's really a guild, it's not a union. And so that's the biggest change is every actor I know is going through this. It's famous, not famous, whatever. If they're residuals, and the residuals are less money now because if you do a show on streaming, you may not make the minimum.
Right.
If you do a show on network, you may make the minimum, but now they're making 12 episodes as opposed to 26 episodes. And the bigger thing is that people are moving. They are just like, Tennessee, Atlanta, North Carolina,
yeah,
Braddock.
Hey, maybe Braddock. Pittsburgh has thriving filming. Jeremy Renner's in town right now filming stuff. So that's the Pittsburgh news.
I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is nice, but
Because you probably have a tax incentive. Even though
Yeah.
we have a bigger tax incentive this year, it doesn't affect it. It's not affecting there's not work. I
We
have to
actually got
create.
the interview. Sorry, we got the interview, and I became friends with the Pennsylvania Film Commissioner. So I got to find out more about that than a human should know.
What is the tax rate? What is the tax incentive there? How much if you film there?
I
Do you
don't
know?
have the numbers in front of me, but he's turned it around from like I actually am not sure what I can say that he told me. Let's put it that way.
I can probably
but I
chat
don't remember the
GBT right
exact
now.
numbers. Yeah. But yeah, I found out like even how it worked. I wasn't what's the tax credit do and like the mechanics of it and how it brings business and like how it would apply, because I think like I would like to do something where I can possibly build a creator community, not necessarily podcast or whatever, but like something to bring artists who are creating in the modern age together into a building or a space that's not necessarily a bar. And I was looking into that and asking how that would
So
work
like
too.
WeWorks.
Yeah, but way more open, not like a closed room. Do you need a place to do a recording? I'd love to have something like that set up. Do you want to talk microphones and equipment? Well, we have a space over here just to socialize and get together and discuss the art.
Talk microphones and cables.
Yeah, nerd stuff. Good,
Nerd
good
stuff. Real good nerd
hey,
stuff.
we have 2 questions in chat. And
what?
Let's see what we got from
people.
He reminds you of how many tracksuits Adidas Queens do you own? Your style is fun, chill, and just hits. Hiromi.
Oh, snap. I have at least 5 Adidas suits and at least 40 Adidas tennis shoes. And thank you, Hiromi from Culver City.
Let's do it. That's number 2. From Jen Choi, knowing all the challenges you just shelled out in today's film industry, what advice would you give to your younger self to watch out for? That's a great question.
Great question. I would say tithe 25% no matter what and put it in savings. I would find another skill. Like maybe I could be a barber or a lactation consultant. 2 things I think I would be good at. What would I tell my younger self? I think I'm already doing what I would have told my younger self. I would just say it to her younger. I learned it after I worked with Mark Duplass and the Duplass brothers, but create your own material. The cavalry is not coming. Do it yourself. You want to make it? You want to do it yourself. As far as like making money, it'd be good to have a hard skill like barbering. I'm going to be a barber.
Plumbing. Do you cut your own kids' hair?
No, they won't let me near them with a scissor. They know I'm clumsy.
Not yet.
My husband won't even let me in the kitchen. That's why I married him. I can't cook. So no, I don't have any skills in that way. I have soft skills.
You can tap dance. I know you
I can tap dance. And there's a big need for that right now in these
what if it comes
economic
back?
times.
You don't know. It could come back tomorrow. Like
I'm a star hoofing. I'm a star hoofing on the corner of Centinela and Venice.
All right.
Actually, guys, there's a 25.
Okay, Zaz.
No, never mind.
I was gonna say, what do you like better, tap or soft shoe?
Tap.
Yeah.
I'm a loud person. I like the beat. Soft shoes ding, 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 ding. I've never been subtle or cool. I would much choose Roseanne Barr over Cary Grant. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. We have another question in chat. Let's go with it.
Sorry, it's actually passed along from chat. Danielle asks, you seem so positive and full of energy. Do you have any tips for the rest of us?
One day at a time.
One day at a time?
That's my one day at a time. You take it one day at a time.
Wake up happy, or is it like a process?
No, I wake up at 4 a.m. because I'm menopausal. And the whole world, I got to do this. I got to do that. I didn't do this. I have to do that. What should I do? And then, I have a spiritual practice. And by spiritual, I don't mean woo-woo. I mean, some basic things admitting I'm powerless over things. And if it's unmanageable, I just have to come to believe that I'm not it. If there's a God, I'm not it. I can't control it. And I got to give it away. And I don't know why I have so much energy. I have so much fucking energy. It's
I've seen
crazy.
interviews, like, that's why throughout the script coming in here, like, your energy was going, it's so big and wonderful and welcoming. And
Thank you.
I just wanted to entertain that. Like, I was like, I want to just talk to her. Like, I don't want to, like, because normally I start off like, tell me all about your childhood. And I touched on that. And then I go through all the things. I'm just like, I want you to talk. I want to hear your life stories.
What gives me energy is taking it a moment at a time. I'm just very in the moment. I think that gives me energy. If I spend too much time in fear or too much time in the past, then I don't have much energy. And I have had those moments. I've had some severe depressions in my life. And and I get by with a little help from my friends.
Friends are important. You need them.
I'm just going to name songs from TV shows or song titles or TV shows to say how I'm getting through my energy. One day at a time.
I can't watch that show anymore.
By with a little help with my friends. I know.
Stand By Me? No, that's a movie.
When the night has come. And the land has gone.
I'm really fascinated by your stand-up career, because you still do it with your friend in Two Beaches.
Yeah.
Have you ever, I know there was an incident where you walked away from stand-up, and you could cover that or not. It's up to you. But have you ever been done with that life on stage, the comedy life on stage? Is it something you welcome and always look forward to?
Oh no, I don't welcome it at all. So the reason why Jill and I did it together and decided to do it together is we both didn't want to go back into the clubs and go back into it's so much fear and neurosis and writing jokes and stuff like that. We didn't want to do that, but together. Then we would have each other. It doesn't fill me as much as it fills Jill. I get more filled on like helping people tell their stories. And I don't know why. Maybe that's because I'm a mom and I like to multitask, and I don't know. But there was one significant thing that made me not do stand-up. I hosted a benefit called the Musicians Assistance Program at what was a very popular club called the Billboard Key. It was called something famous. It was a club on Sunset, and I was asked to host the show, and it was very well seen. Sublime, Brad had just died, and it was Everclear was playing, and Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kill, and Soundgarden, and all kinds of people were playing. They asked me to host it because I was on a TV show and I was famous at the time. And 2 seconds before I walked out on stage, I did a bit, and my pants ripped from my crotch to the top of my back spine, like from just a complete rip. And I kind of finished my set, and I was very distracted, and it was just, I was young. So I was like overwhelmed. I was like, can they see my crotch? Right? I was wearing a G-string. It was very uncomfortable. So I go backstage. Kathleen Hanna was so sweet. She literally took off. This is like a riot girl, right? Took off her boxer shorts and gave them to me so I could wear them under my broken pants. She's a little thing, so we wouldn't have fit pants. I'm like 5'10". I'm a big bitch. And
that's a big bitch.
And I went back on stage, and I kind of didn't have jokes, and I kind of did. And I was like, probably like left it to the last minute. The next morning I wake up and I hear my husband on the phone with his mom or his sister. And she said, and he goes, recovering support group for comedians. Well, front page of the LA Times. And I will quote.
Oh, fuck.
Musicians Assistance Program with an all-star lineup comes up short thanks to a faulty MC. Comedian Jenica Bergere of the CBS sitcom Inc. was not only not funny, but her sight gags and humor would embarrass anyone. If there were a support group for recovering comedians, send this woman a brochure. And I was like, I'm out. Like, I was doing this for service. And I was like, and my mom was very dramatic. My mom was alive at the time. And she was like, this is terrible. You need a publicist. People need to know this is so bad. You're going to get fired off the show. You're going to get fired. It really reflects bad on you. And I remember I was on the show with Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen. And when I got there, everybody was quiet. And they were like, we saw the LA Times article. You know, you just have to be very, very wary of the things you do and what you do out there and da, da, da. By the way, I never would have lasted if Instagram and Facebook, as a human, if Instagram and Facebook were up, or TikTok at the time. This one review had me not doing stand-up for 15 years.
Can we go find that guy?
What brought me back? Huh?
Let's go find that guy. And you know it was a guy.
Yeah, I don't even remember if it was a guy or a girl, but I remember like, we got to go buy all the LA Times in the neighborhood. Nobody can see this. And there's like a picture of me going, and I was just like, and this was right before my father died. So it was like one of the last yucky things that he needed to see. And he didn't need to see, I should say. Now, in this day and age, this happens every day to people who are famous. I had a friend who was helping somebody.
Trying.
No, the people will take anything and just
from
burn
anybody,
them at the stake
any little
and
thing
take
that
them
they
all
can
the way
build
down.
their fame on. Yeah.
Right. So I would not last. Like, I just would not last if there was that many avenues to criticize me. And I have thick skin and I can handle a lot of things, but there was something about that show because it was accidental. I was young. I think I was like 21. And yeah, that like really threw me. Poor Jenica. So what made me come back was doing a one-woman show and writing stand-up with Marty Papazian directed it, and Kristen Hange helped me write it. Kristen Hange created Rock of Ages. Great doula to writing, and she pulled me out of it, and I wrote this show in 6 weeks and I put it up, and it was called You Can Eat Me. It was very funny. It was probably one of the best things I've ever done. And so out of that pain came something better, was writing that show.
Wow.
Yeah.
You I think in an interview you brought up your mother. You mentioned that the person most likely that she reminds you of is Rip Taylor.
She just was a huge personality. I think that was just a joke that I made.
I heard
she was
that
more like
your impersonation of her a little bit too, though.
Yeah, no, but she's very like, she's almost like a big gay man. You know what I mean? Like that salty voice, like, Jenica. Everything was very dramatic. I mean, I could go on and on about my mom. I really haven't needed to for the last 10 years. She's been deceased for 10 years, and I try not to wear all the mishigas on my sleeve. And I'm a mom now. So I have also, on the other hand, I have a lot more compassion for her, but she was the type of woman to wear a bib as an adult so that she could eat as much as she possibly could. It didn't fall on her outfit. She carried a kazoo.
Practical.
And she carried a kazoo. This bib was so fucking like her statement piece that she had one made in gold and one in silver. And she would take them to restaurants. And I'd be like, oh God, here comes the bib. The bib's coming out. And she'd be like, and then she'd be like, ow! And she'd carry a kazoo everywhere and play it as if she was a professional kazoo player. So she was always had this kazoo. It's like, oh, there's the lady with the kazoo. So like, I have appreciation for her now. These were things that were mortifying to me as a child.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it though. I love also the distance, of time and then perspective. Like now I'm a mom, and then you wonder how your kids see you, and like also how you can embarrass them the best. Like, do you
Oh
have
my
a
God.
kazoo that you
I
keep
won't even
around
try
now?
to embarrass them. Just my existence embarrasses them. They're like always like, you're too much. You are too much.
Yep, you got the opposite of you as your kids.
Yeah.
The perfect curse.
I mean, but all three of them are wonderful and talented in different ways and skilled and kind and all that, but they definitely don't think I contributed to that.
Who's your favorite?
It depends on the day.
My mother, who had 5 children. First off, she would have said to you, and she said to any woman with more than 2 kids, why? Because she had 5. And my mother specialized in embarrassing me properly, and I'm going to tell this story here and once. I'll tell you after the show. It's pretty deep. My mother
say it. Do
great.
it. Do the real
All right,
story.
I'm doing it. The real story, 4th of July, we're gathered at my mother's house. I'm an adult. I'm married. I moved out. And we're standing outside. There's a crudité on the table, picnic table, 4th of July, beautiful outdoor weather. And my buddy Dave says she offers him some black olives. He goes, I don't like black olives. I hear they taste like cum. My mother says, no, they don't, and then walked out of the room. And that's what she did in front of all of my friends. And I have to live with that. They still tell that story. Yeah.
You have to live with that because it brings up a visual
Yeah.
that you didn't need.
She
No,
knew
I
to walk
understand.
out. She looked like from One Day at a Time. Anne, I can't remember the actor's name. But she looked like little short redhead, walked out of the room and just like, yeah, that's what I grew up with. I have one final question for you because we're running low on time, and I appreciate your time, and I want you back. Are you still there? You're not moving after you went
Nathaniel, she froze.
Thanks.
Now's the time to while she's coming back. Maybe discuss.
Hey, let's tease next week real quick if you got that.
Yeah,
ready,
there you
Josh.
go. There you go.
We have one. Jenica, feel free to interrupt at any time when you come back. Next week we have Jackie the Joke Man Martling on. You know, if you don't know who he is, well, I can't really educate you. He's the guy that basically got Howard Stern's show started. He was there at the beginning. Helped grow everything. We're going to talk with him. Maybe we'll get lucky enough to play what's Challenge the Joke Man. What's it called? I can't remember the full name of the bit back in the day.
Fist fight to the
dumb.
death with the Joke Man.
I think that's the Joke Man. Yeah, sorry, I probably have it on the card here.
I was right, but
if she comes back, I have one more question. Everybody stick around. If you have one more question, feel free to get that in chat as well. If she comes back,
And thanks to everyone who did ask questions in chat. Thanks for being here.
thanks everybody.
stop. All right.
We'll give it a couple more seconds. We'll wrap up, and if she comes back, we'll do the question. But I love your sneaking around. Like, hey, is anybody still watching? Thank you, everybody. Please subscribe, please like, please share. We're growing the show, and just you watching helps us a lot. So thank you very much, Jenica. We'll give you 1 more minute on the clock, and then we'll say
You give her 5.
5. I'll give her all night. I'm just like, my phone's dead. I'm out. It could be, but
Yeah.
that was great.
She's
night.
been great.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
That's some amazing.
I did,
stories.
however, I want to go into. So we were talking earlier, pre-show, about like going over our notes and whatnot. And one of the things you said was like, what we always kind of discuss what questions we want to ask. And mine was like, what thing have you not covered yet that you want to tackle? Because again, as we clearly have discussed today, she has done. The bingo card's filled. With that said, she said she wanted to do a musical. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with musicals. Been to a few on my end. There is a billion different genres, like there are with movies. So I was like, okay, are we going like, I don't know, something whatever huge right now? Book of Mormon's out right now, or like Wicked,
a great one.
or you're gonna go like Hedwig, or you want to go like something else. I feel like if I was gonna put like Calci money on it, it would be something along the lines of like very grounded, or with a lot of humor in it, like with subtle humor. I don't know. So
write that down, because the question I would have for her.
Write it down. I'm not going to bore people who are listening right now to ask that whole diatribe.
My next question, I've always wanted to ask somebody who's been there and done everything. What's the one question an interview has never asked you that you've been prepping for and they just never got to actually give that answer you've always wanted to give?
I'm pretty sure that's going to be, which one's your favorite, you psychopath? Like, that was hilarious. Yeah, 10 out of 10, no notes. That was the greatest question ever I've ever heard anybody give anybody else. So Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hey, everybody. We're going to get out of here. Jenica, we understand that you can't come back. I'm guessing your phone died or the signal got so bad. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure you'll see this whenever we get it all edited up. Please, again, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that people beg you to do. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night. Be safe out there, everybody. Thank you very much.
We did it.
Have a great one. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Be safe out there. Treat each other well.